deadly shot with her bow and arrow.
But she stayed all by herself in the woods. How'd she become famous?
I'm afraid I had something to do with that. One day, I got rather mad at one of my local rulers, King Aeneas, for not paying enough attention to my temples. They were getting a bit run down, you see, and people weren't making offerings to me anymore. I sent the good king a little present. Actually, it was quite a big present.
I bet he was pleased.
Would you be pleased if a fire-breathing boar with razor-sharp tusks appeared in your backyard?
A boar, help me, help my kingdom. Oh, somebody do something.
What's so special about this wild thing? Send someone out to kill it, and we'll put an apple in its mouth and have it for supper.
I'm afraid that won't do, my dear. This horse is as big as an ox. It so slices down trees, one tree from the snout, and it's destroying all our crops. If we don't stop it soon, we'll have no harvest.
Well, then send all the best hunters in the world after it. Together, they can bring it down, I'm sure.
So a call went out for help from Greece's greatest hunters. Some of the top shots who showed up included a brave warrior named Jason and Theseus of Athens. Aeneas' son, Meleager, and his uncle headed the hunting party.
What a group of heroes. This will go down as the greatest hunts of all time. Wait a minute, who's that?
Atalanta strolled into the middle of the crowd. Her beautiful hair was knotted in a ponytail. She had an ivory quiver full of arrows slung over her shoulder and a powerful bow in her hand.
So I've heard you need someone who's a good shot.
At that very second, Meleager fell in love with Atalanta. Unfortunately, not everyone was so thrilled to have Atalanta on board.
Anything so foolish, she'll be nothing but trouble, I know. Send her away. No, she stays. I bet you prove to be the best of all. Look, she's already pleaded with my nephew. I'll have to keep an eye on her.
Remembering their purpose, the hunters put aside their disagreements over Atalanta and set out to defeat the gigantic boar.
We'll search high and low for that overgrown pig. I don't see that ugly beast anywhere. Let's look deeper in the woods.
So they stepped carefully into the darkest part of the forest. In the midst of the tall trees and fallen branches, the hunters grew nervous.
Whoa! Oh, sorry, I thought that stump over there was the...
There it is! The big boar had seen the hunters before they saw them. It raced right past them, leaving them in great confusion. Their weapons were pointing all different directions, but the lead line had kept the hunters from killing each other.
Hey, what were some of their spears? I didn't throw that one. If I spear lady roughly her in the tree. Oh no, here comes the boar again.
Only Atalanta kept her head. As the boar crashed through the tree, she aimed one of her arrows carefully and let it fly. The missile struck the boar right behind the ear and knocked it down.
Now, Meleager, use your spear to finish the job.
With that, the prince thrust his spear into the unlucky boar, yelling to bring the people from his deadly rampage.
Wait a minute, nephew. You killed the beast. The prizes are yours, not that she bears. Please watch her tongue, Uncle. This girl deserves the prize as much as I love.
Prince, I don't know what to say.
I do. You're not getting any prizes, and you're certainly not getting my nephew. You're just a nobody from the wrong side of the woods.
With that, the uncle turned his weapon toward Atalanta. Meleager's prepared and loved and rushing to his sword and killed him.
Oh. Scene 3, Althea's Revenge.
When Queen Althea, Meleager's mother, heard what had happened at the hunt, she was torn apart inside.
How could my son have done such a terrible thing? He killed his own uncle to defend that wild girl. My brother must be avenged. But to avenge him would mean I'd have to kill my own son. What can I do?
After hours of agonizing thought, she decided that there was no other choice. Her own son would have to give up his life to pay for the death of his uncle.
Servant, go to the back of my closet and tap on the wall. When you hear a hollow sound, you will have found my secret hiding place. Break down the wall and give me the chest that I kept hidden there all these years.
The servant did as the queen commanded. In time, she returned with a wooden box that was covered with 20 years' worth of dust. Althea opened the box and took out an old light that had been charred by a fire.
Put this on the fire.
The servant thought it strange, but did as the queen commanded. She returned to find the queen sobbing.
I'm getting at your old great queen. May I ask why you kept this old dusty log for so many years?
It's a story that pains me. One night, when Meleager was just a baby, I sat before the fire, rocking my child to sleep. I must have fallen asleep too, because I had a terrible dream.
What was it, Your Highness?
I dreamed I saw the three fates, the woman who weave the events of our lives, and the silent one who will die, holding a short piece of yarn.
Boys life cannot be on and when the log and fireplace burns out.
I leapt up, and my bare hands pulled the burning log from the fireplace. I put out the flames and hid the log so that no harm could come to my son. But now, my son has killed my brother.
The servant turns to look at the log blazing away in the fireplace. Meanwhile, in the forest, Meleager and Atalanta were talking.
Atalanta, you're very strong and beautiful. But I was single. And I was wondering if...
Meleager, you don't look well. You're sweating. You have a terrible fever.
I feel like I'm burning up. Please, give me some water.
My queen, the fire's almost out.
Atalanta raced to a nearby stream. She cupped her hands and caught up some water and returned to Meleager's side. When she returned, she found Meleager dead. In just a short time, she had fallen in love with him. Now he was gone.
Some God's hand is in this. Here's what I have to say to you. Since you've taken away the man I loved, I will never love another.
With that, Atalanta disappeared into the forest, swearing in her heart that she would never, ever marry.
Scene 4, risky business.
Atalanta wanted to be left alone, but she was a little too late. News of the great boar had spread far and wide, as had the word about her beauty. Her father, the king who cruelly abandoned her at birth, came forward and invited her to live in his palace. There, young men eager to win her approval began camping out around the palace door.
Atalanta, what did I tell those men outside? They say they will go home and change promise to marry us. Something's stopping them. We can't get anything better around here with that cow walking the road.
Send them away. Tell them I hate every one of them.
We haven't had that, remember? Please, stop talking to me.
Alright, but it's not going to be pretty.
Atalanta appeared at the gates of her father's castle and was swarmed by the hopeful suitors.
Marry me and you'll never want to look at another man. Marry me and I'll stay by your side forever. If y'all are trying to scare me, it's working. Alright, marry one of you. If you beat me in a race, that is. We can't do that. You're as fast as lightning. Hey, there's no harm in trying, is there? I'll give it a shot. She might slip or something. Oh, I forgot to mention the catch. If you win, you get to marry me. But if I win, it's death for the loser. And I'm serious. Maybe you're right, Emily. We can just be friends.
Atalanta, I just forgot. I have a problem with my Achilles heel. I better not race today. I'll see you later.
Surprisingly enough, not all of the suitors gave up. Some were so in love with Atalanta that they did race her, even though it cost them their lives.
Sorry about this, but I've tried to warn you.
One day, a young man named Hippomenes came by to see a determined suitor challenge Atalanta. He couldn't believe that anyone would risk his life for some woman's hand in marriage. Then he saw Atalanta.
I must marry that woman or I'll die. Owen told me this most likely die trying to marry her. I need some divine help.
Hippomenes asked for help from Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Aphrodite, who was none too pleased that Atalanta had sworn she would never marry him, gave him 3 golden apples and a plan to win Atalanta's hand. The next day, Hippomenes appeared at Atalanta's door.
Not another one. I'm sure it will happen to you.
But I'm sure I'll win this race. I feel that the gods are on my side.
Some people just can't take a hint. Please, do yourself a favor and fall in love with someone else.
But the next morning, Atalanta found herself on the starting line with the confident young man. Signal was given and the race began. For the first 100 yards, Hippomenes managed to keep up with Atalanta, but then she started to take off.
I better put my plan into action.
The young man took out one of the golden apples hidden in his tunic. He tossed a dazzling apple in Atalanta's path.
I just stopped to pick it up. After all, I've got a beat already.
When Atalanta stopped, Hippomenes managed to get the lead. And when Atalanta got back into the race, she quickly made up for lost time.
5 seconds. Careful.
looked up and saw her opponent far ahead of her.
We've got to stop playing around. This race is getting serious.
Coming into the home stretch, the runners were neck to neck. Forming thinks that he had no chance against Atalanta unless he used his brain.
Last hope. It works.
He tossed his last shining, shimmering blow right in Atalanta's path. Though she knew stopping would cost her the race, she couldn't help herself. The third apple was more inviting than the other two. But Atalanta looked at her apple. She saw Harvey's crossing the finish line. Woo!